Hello, 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 Facebook family. 7 p.m. on a Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. It's good to see you guys on. I know more people are coming. I very excited about this season. Of course, I'm sure for a lot of people. Oh my goodness, I wore the wrong glasses. But I'm sure for a lot of people, Christmas season is a very popular season, and I know for me, it's my favorite season. So I'm one of those guys that like to pull out all the decorations and get the culture and the environment right, and love to see the Christmas things that spin. I got a light going on in my office right now that just changes colors. I just love this time of year. So if it was up to me, Christmas gifts and Christmas decorations probably. I should say Christmas decorations. Let me take the gift part off. Christmas decorations would stay up until January 31st. You spend all that time pulling it out, and it's just a different vibe. How you doing, Tamika? It's just a different vibe when you have the the Christmas decorations out. So as you can see, Char, where you going? Okay, I was going to say. So as you can see, I have two pair of glasses, and one of them I paid the extra money to get the glare resistance, and the other one I went cheap. And now I forgot that I had these on, so now I'm seeing the glare, and it's going to bother me for the next 30 minutes. So at the end of the day, Aunt Stephanie's on. Good to see you, Aunt Stephanie. But today's show today is about committed action, episode 117, committed action, and we're going to go old school with it. We're going to have some slides. If you're on, please say hello to us. Tell us where you're from. And then we'll go from there. I know this is a busy time of year. People are trying to get their last few gifts. I wanted to give a shout out to Attack Poverty. We put we put a video out showing that our Christmas party went pretty well. And basically, at the Christmas party we asked the guests to bring unwrapped gifts because the place that we give to, they want unwrapped gifts. So we had, this is only our second year doing this. I don't know why I thought it was a third. This is only our second year doing this, and we had like over 30 gifts. So we had a great turnout. Sharp. Hey, my parents are on. Sorry, but I don't know what happened. Just got kicked off for a second there. But my parents are on. Hello, hello. But we went to Attack Poverty. They had a room just full of toys, and they had them all divided up into different age groups. And it was a little bit of a line outside, and it was going from 1 to 4. And we actually, and I guess it's on me. I did not find out what date was the giveaway. We got all the stuff together, and I called him, and so we called him. It's hard to reach him, and finally we send the email, and boom, they tell us it's today. Oh crap! I'm at work. Eventually, I get off. We run down there on a Saturday. We get the stuff turned in. So, very excited to continue that tradition. It'll be our family tradition to do this. But today is about committed action, and this is, this is very simple. We got some slides to go through. It's only 6 slides, so don't worry. But it's just one of those things that, when I look back and I think about some of the best relationships, strongest relationships that I have and had, it was basically around people that you can trust. And those people that you can trust, they operate on committed actions. And, we're going to break it down a little bit. Of course, in 15 minutes, we're not going to be able to do it justice, but we can do enough to at least get you a taste of what it's all about. And this slideshow, everything was put together by Stegan, and I'm always going to be impressed with Stegan. Stegan changed my life. It changed my whole perspective about life. It made me change the whole way I look at life, and I'm very, very happy about. Hey, Mother Brenda, it's good to see you. Very, very happy about and very thankful about the opportunity to go to Stegan. And the thing about Stegan is that every year they have a reunion. So we just got back from the reunion about a week ago. I feel like a week ago. It was 2 weeks? A week ago or 2 weeks. And so that's how they keep you connected. and they let you have access to all your learnings. So you go through these learnings and you have homework every week, and they have these sections, and you can download and use these things to teach your people. And because I have this platform, I like to share it with you guys. So committed action. But before we get into committed action, I just want to share a quote. Hi, Shar. Shar's on this week, so I feel like we got a guest. It has been a while since she's been on. But how you doing, Shar?
I'm awesome.
Shar says she's awesome.
Yes, I'll be on vacation for 17 days after tomorrow.
So she wants the world to know that after tomorrow, she starts her vacation. And she's in corporate America, along with her cupcake shop. So she's piecemealed these vacation days together where she has 17 days straight. That's pretty awesome. I don't even know what I would do. I don't even know. I don't think I can sit around for 17 days. Now, she ain't going to sit around because she has another business. So, but me, I get kind of antsy. I don't even like going to parties for over 2 hours. But at the end of the day, she's going to have 17 days off just to have one job instead of two. So she's very excited about it. So I wanted to give a shout out. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. So Merry Christmas. If I had a little wig, I would put it on and say Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to my oldest son, Sean. He turns 32 years old, December 23rd. So shout out to Sean, be 32 years old, December 23rd. We have a strained relationship, but he's always welcome. He knows that. He's always welcome to stop by, call, whatever. But he will be 32. And just saying it out loud is just unfreaking believable. This dude is going to be 32 years old. And then I want to give a shout out, happy belated birthday to my aunt's sister, whose birthday is 7 days before Christmas. Now, it's funny because I learned a lot from sister. And this is what I learned from sister. We call her sister. Let me explain that. Her nickname is Sister. She's my aunt's sister. So anyway, she is, if I had to compare to anybody, she reminds me of Mother Brenda. I mean, just her spirit, her attitude. She reminds me of Mother Brenda a lot. So I always, when they met each other, I was like, this is the person that I think you're alike, So they got a chance to meet each other. But I remember in my hard times, and I know I'm going sideways a little bit, but I remember I was struggling. I was struggling. Char would say I was on the struggle bus. Man, I was on the struggle bus was towing a car, and I was on the car that it was towing. I wasn't on the struggle bus. I was on the car that was being towed by the struggle bus. So anyway, one time, aunt's sister came down and she shook my hand, and there was a $50 bill in it. And when you're on the struggle bus or in the car that's being towed by the struggle bus and a 50 spot gets in your hand, it'll break you down. I think I had to hold back the tears. Thank you, Auntie. It's funny now. Hey, Shay, how you doing? So it's funny now, but back then I was like, thank you. So I'll always remember that. So happy belated birthday to my aunt. So we go to what is Elevate? We talk about it all the time. Elevate is a consulting. I really want to focus on coachings this year. That's the plan. Mr. Roundtree's on. Good to see you, Mr. Roundtree. That's a very competitive dude right there, Mr. Roundtree.
He's a kind guy.
And he's kind. He's a great guy. But anyway, I'll leave it alone. But I wanted to talk about what Elevate is, a consulting company. Basically, we want to focus on coaching this year because I have some commitments I need to make sure I keep and stay focused on. And coaching is the best way to do this. Hopefully, I will come out with another quote book this year. That's the plan. And get closer to finishing another book. You see, Mr. Roundtree said, "Don't do it," because he knew what I was about to say. Hey, I'm not going to do it, sir. I'm not going to do it. So, but at the end of the day, my passion, and I'm very, man, I get frustrated, I get stressed out. My hair is not growing like it used to grow, but I am very fortunate to be in a position where I get to not only talk about leadership, I get to walk in it, and I'm surrounded by people who are very focused and know how to make things happen. My supervisor, my peers, I just don't think that I can be in a better way, in a better position to be effective as a leader. Everything is not always good. I'm frustrated a lot at some things I would never say that I hear, and it's easy to criticize. But at the end of the day, I'm full. I mean, there's so much learning going on. There's so much. I almost have to. I mean, you just gotta walk with me to see what this is like. I mean, and then I get a chance to go through a leadership program and get to learn these tools that I can use, and then I can battle trying to make sure I use the tools more. And then I wake up the next day and I get a chance to go into the world and exercise what I've learned. I mean, I'm a very fortunate guy. So I'm very grateful this Christmas. So the quote, I like to share a quote and put a one down if you're still with me, because sometimes I feel like I ramble and then I forget that I'm cameras on. So if you guys put a one down, and I didn't even see you move your finger. That was quick, Shar. Shar put a one down. But if you have any one word to describe how you feel this Christmas before we get rolling, just put one word down. One word. For me, without a shadow of a doubt, grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Um, she ain't letting go of that vacation. She ain't letting go of that one word from Shar is vacation. You can't use my word, Shay. Grateful is my word. You can't be grateful and me be grateful. We both can't be grateful. You got to pick a different word, Shay. Oh man, we got another grateful. We got a blessed. All right. So very, 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 very excited about what 2024 holds, and I always say that I know by the end of next year I'll be a different person. I'll be a different person, and my prayer is that you can be two. To me, you're going to be two. You're going to be a different person anyway. You can either be bitter or you can be better, and hopefully I'll be a better person this time next year.
Yeah.
So, one and two. All right. So I wanted to share this quote. It's by Albert Einstein, and I love this quote because it says, "Intelligence is the desire to learn and do more of what works better and faster. Intelligence is always a work in progress. Adaptability is one of the key measures of intelligence." So I'm just going to say it one more time. Intelligence is the desire to learn and do more of what works better and faster. Intelligence is always a work in progress. Adaptability is one of the key measures of intelligence. So I think a lot of times we look at intelligence as this state of mind. And if a person can answer questions or they come off a certain kind of way, but I love this because it says, is the desire to learn and do more of what works. We're trying to get somewhere, It's just not about just being a Gnostic. We got a goal, we got a vision, we got things that we're trying to reach. And intelligence is to have that desire to learn and do. So I love this by Einstein. And I was thinking about putting a second quote on there, but I said, I'll wait. I'll save it for next week. But when we talk about committed action, man, that's what it's about. It's about getting stuff done. I am a recovering rescuer and an overdoer. And I think I spent the last maybe 15, 20 years of my life being more of a person that can get more out of people than just me running 100 miles an hour. So this is about committed action, communication, working with teams and stuff like that. And we got about 6 slides we're going to go through. And this little poem, I don't even know what you call this little short story I'm going to read. It's only about a paragraph, but this is one of the things I share with my guys because I want them to understand that we have to make sure that we get everybody involved if we're going to make this work. And it's a story called The Story of Everybody, Somebody, Anybody, and Nobody. And this really plays into what we're talking about today, committed action. So Here's a story titled, Whose Job Is It Anyway? This is a story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. And that is what we call the whose job is it anyway? So any of you guys that work on teams, it's almost like the piece of paper that's out there on the floor and it's trash and everybody walks by, their cubicles and they see that on the floor and they just walk by. Nobody picks it up. Whose job is it anyway? Anybody's job. That's whose job it is. Everybody's job. Somebody needs to do it. Anybody can do it. So we're always trying to find ways to get people engaged and get people working. And we call it, we just execute, right? So this slide here, committed action, I'm going to share with you. And let's see if I can get my mouse working. Let's see here. Bear with me. I get nervous anytime I get on this, start doing this stuff here. Give me 1 second to move the slide. Did I move it? Do you see it? Shar, you see it? No? There we go. All right. So this is, like I said, all this, if you see at the very bottom, you see Stegan. All this was done by Stegan. It's very good information that's put together, right? But it basically talks about in committed actions, you got 4 dimensions of execution. So committed actions like the circle around the circle. And then in the 3 is divided into 3 sections: deliberate trade-offs, what they call prioritizing; personal productivity, which they call effectiveness; and then disciplined process, which they call project management. And then the committed action means accountability. So you commit to something, and that's what the whole ball is really about. So committed action is what we're talking about today, and it's a very simple concept. But committed actions, they're much deeper than just accountability. A committed action is about a consciousness. It's about a way that you live your life. It's about a way that kind of defines you. Committed actions is a powerful practice that leaders and teams can use to cultivate a more conscious culture. This practice is about the role of negotiation in advance of commitments and execution. So like when you make committed action, which we're not going to go into today, you when you ask for committed action, you don't have to say yes or no. There's other alternatives, and maybe we'll get that down the road, but because we got 15 minutes. But that's why I said this practice is about the role of negotiation in advance of commitments and execution, because there's other things you can do besides say, yes, I'm going to get it done, or no, I'm not going to get it done. So the third slide, committed action is a 5-step process. It's making an effective request. It's the first step in committed action. You got to make an effective request. The second one is enrolling others. You got to get other people involved. The third is a committed response. You want to get a commitment, whether it be, hey, I can't do it now, but I can do it later. Or, yes, let me get back with you. But whatever it is, you're getting a committed response. And then the 4th step is managing the commitments. You got to follow up. I always tell people the magic is in the follow up. And then 5th is managing and learning from the breakdowns.
If anybody has questions,
so anybody, is there any questions out there? She said this is a lot. Is it all clear, or am I just mumbling? Am I what do they call it, a mumble rapper?
Can you give an example of making an effective?
So this is when Shar gonna mess with my time. But effective request is when you tell somebody what you need done, how you need it done, when you need it done, what you need done. So I'm in the slide. It's going to get to it. It's going to get to what an effective request is. So just trust me, it's coming. All right.
Sorry.
So number 5 is this. The 5th slide is effective request. Effective requests establish clear conditions for satisfactions in terms of exactly what, of whom, and by when. Establish conditions of satisfaction that are understood and agreed by all parties. So we're getting a commitment here. a verbal commitment, so that's what's important about it. And this slide, since we got a little push here, this is an example of effective request. Now, if I do this, oh boy, I'm worried about doing this. All right. Is it better on the screen?
Not on my side yet. It hasn't come through yet.
So on my side, it blew it up. So in an ineffective request, someone needs to work on the manager's report. An effective request, Andy, could you complete the manager's KPI report by noon tomorrow and send it out to all 13 managers as an attachment?
Kind of like a smart.
That's a effective request. Another example of an ineffective request, I like to get a copy of those sales figures. That's an ineffective request. An effective request would be, John, would you be able to get me your team's Q1 sales figures by the end of today? Another example of an ineffective request, we need this project done by next week. I hear you, but what's an effective request? We need to complete the Acme scoping project by Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Rhonda, can you commit to having it complete and sent to all 4 of us by then? So that is the difference between a request and a committed, ineffective request and an effective request. And now I'm trying to get off the screen because how do I get off the screen? Hi, chat, exit full screen. All right. So that is an example of effective requests versus ineffective requests. And committed actions are so powerful. I always marvel about things that I learn and how they're in the Bible and stuff like that. And you'll see, we call it a vow. we call it a vow. But when you have a committed, an effective request, and then it turns into a committed action, then a lot of times it's, hey, I'm going to do this by this time, and that time and who's going to do it, when they're going to do it, that's very important. And a lot of times we make requests and we don't put those on there. So if it's clear as mud, put on there as it's clear as mud.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if someone makes an ineffective request, then if you're the person that's receiving the request, then you can say, well, when do you need this by? Like you can ask questions to make it more effective for you so that way you can deliver what's been asked.
So as Shar is saying, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, she said that if somebody makes an ineffective request, you can always ask questions. And that's true. That would be great. But of course, as leaders, we got to make sure that we make effective requests. I would love for people to ask me questions. A lot of times they don't, though. So I would say, yeah, that'd be great. Because if I don't do something the right way, it'd be great for somebody to say, hey, who does that? Who do you want to do that? When did you need it done? And ask me all the questions. But a lot of times that don't happen. And at the end of the day, who owns it? That leader owns it. So that leader needs to make sure he understands how to make effective requests. Now, there's each step of the way, getting other involved. There's a whole other set of slides for that stuff. I mean, there's more to this. But at the end of the day, a committed action is very, very, very important. I believe, and I'm sure some of y'all can chime on, is that we have a lot of problems in our society because commitments are just broken left and right. And if you have a committed action and you have a breakdown, there's a way to deal with breakdowns. And the first step is somebody has to declare a breakdown. Hey, we have a breakdown here. Here's a breakdown, and then when that breakdown is declared, then there are steps to get back on track. A lot of times when a breakdown happens, it's not only not declared, we just act like it didn't happen, and then we just keep on rolling. And then we let this thing grow bigger, and then we have to do what we call a clear the air because everybody's pissed off. You got to do a clear the air to get everybody back on board when we had a breakdown 10 steps ago. So committed action is a simple concept, but at the end of the day, it's not followed a lot in society, whether it be at the home or the job. And that's why a lot of drama happens. And especially when it comes to when you're dealing with growth. So if you're trying to grow people, if you're trying to grow organizations, which means you're trying to grow people, then there's going to be a lot of committed actions. There's going to be a lot of follow-up. There's going to be a lot of coaching. And you got to be on top of your game when it comes to committed actions. We need people trained by a certain time, not whenever. When? What is he going to learn by this date? And then I got to follow up to check to see if he learned it or she learned it, right? we have committed actions as a lifestyle in the organization I'm in, and there's accountability when the committed action is not followed up on, and it's a group accountability, not just one person talking to somebody else. It's a group. So at the end of the day, committed actions is huge. So Shar, what anybody else have questions on it before I go down? Because I feel like it's simple, but the greatness in committed actions is the follow up, the follow through, the execution. That's the greatness of committed action. This is not about coming up with this is just a certain mentality you got to have. Like my parents came down for our Christmas party. We made a committed action. We're going to make sure that there's a room, right? There was a room. If they would have came down and there was no room for them, then that would have been a breakdown. Or when your mom came, we made a commitment, and there was actions that followed. And if there's a breakdown, then that can be that can tear down the relationship. So we have committed actions at all different levels, but at the end of the day, it starts with that person doing what they said they're going to do. And if they don't, the other person can declare a breakdown, but somebody needs to. It's no different than the person that's said on this sheet here, the story by everybody, somebody, nobody, and anybody. Everybody thought something was going to happen. Nothing happened because there was no committed action. Who was going to do it? When were they going to do it? And that was never said. So everybody just assumed. And that's what happens all over the world every day, right? So give me some feedback here. I know this is not really sexy. You say, "Ooh, I talked about committed action today on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Woo!" I get it. But if you try to get something done, you better learn committed action.
Especially if you want to be married.
Look at that. Especially if you want to be married, you threw that in. So let me know if there's anything you want to put in there. I see if you haven't said who you are, please chime in. Let us know who you are. Merry Christmas. I think the topic was spot on. Thank you.
Oh, let me know if the week of New Year's we're not going to be there.
Oh yeah, the week of New Year's we're not going to be here. We're going on a cruise. So just know, because I always forget, and then I end up having to tell you guys. I have to go text everybody. So the week of New Year's, January 3rd, we won't be on. I feel like we're missing a lot of days this year. We've never missed this many days. But I promise you, we always talk about recovery. Recovery, the stress is not the problem. Recovery is the real issue. Well, we're going to do some recovering on January 3rd. So, Mr. Roundtree, thank you. And we got to get you over, Mr. Roundtree and Shay. We got to get you guys over before Christmas, before the New Year's, right? Is that feasible? Probably feasible.
No,
if you got to get time.
You said February.
So,
you're seeing your people time. So.
Anyway, thank you. You got 1 minute back in your day. I really appreciate you guys coming on. And if you remember our little slogan, be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Thank you. Oh, you gonna put some little. You didn't see that by Mr. Roundtree?
Tell him y'all it's gonna be me and Shay against y'all.
So we got a little spades competition, y'all. That's all it is. We got a spades competition, and Mr. Roundtree just keeps getting beat. So, but what we'll do is we're gonna be me and Mr. Roundtree gonna be on the same team, so he can experience what winning's like, and then we'll go from there. All right, you guys have a great one.